All right, what's up, guys? This week we talk about does money bring you happiness? You gotta watch the episode to find out what we think. Our answer might surprise you. We talk about Squid Games. Do you watch it in English dub? Do you watch it in sub? Do you care? What do you think about people that do care? We get into a defining moment on me and Pedro's friendship.
Then after that, we go into one of the controversial topics, not only from last year, but this year and steamrolling probably into the future, Dave Chappelle's special and the trans community. Did you like the beginning? Did you like the ending? How was the special? Did you like his first ever special that came out? Did you like this Netflix special? Was this one the best? Was it a TED Talk? A lot of different opinions on this one. And we put an end to that just like Dave Chappelle mic dropped his special.
Watch the episode, find out what we think, let us know. Peace.
3, 2, 1. Yo, what up, everybody? 2 mics, some theories. Pedro, Steven, we back. We talked about Squid Games, talked about Dave Chappelle. I saw them both, and I think I want to start off with... Let me start off with a little bit of an explanation of what happened, and then I'll go into a question, and then I'll lead into Squid Games. So, for the backstory, you know what Twitch is, right? Like the gaming thing where people stream. Did you know last week or the week before, there was a big leak where the streamer's revenue was disclosed to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was from 2019 to the present, all the Twitch earnings or the revenue that people made. So it didn't include sponsorships. It didn't include any big deals they had outside. Did not include merch. It only included anything a fan would donate from their private account to Twitch and then to the streamer. Someone's fan asked one of the streamers a question. I think she was like they asked Valkyrie. They asked her a question. They said, does money buy happiness? And then she answered it. She like gave her thought. But now I'm gonna ask you the question. You think money buys happiness?
Yes.
All right, could you explain it? Explain it a little bit. Let's just tell me yes. What do you mean?
It does. And simple.
Yeah, but just give me a little bit. What do you mean?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, because I've been on both sides where I have money and I don't have money, and I like having money more than I don't.
What do you mean by
the struggles that I have having money? I rather have than instead of having those struggles that come with not having money.
Have you ever heard this? I would rather cry in a Bentley than cry in a Pinto, or cry in a buggy
on the bus.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you on that too. Because I think the answer that everyone would want to say is, no, it doesn't. I guess that's like the...
Fuck them. They're all trying to be righteous and all that shit. Nah. Once you get a taste, you don't want to give it up.
Yeah, I guess it's the right thing to say is, no, it doesn't, but I'm kind of on the, yeah, it does.
I think it's like a fat one. It definitely makes a difference. Especially how you are. Well, I mean, not how you are with people, because most people turn into assholes. But okay, I guess let me back it up.
No, I hear you. I'm an asshole. I hear you loud and clear.
No, that's not what I said.
No, I know.
So like, at least for me, like if I'm good, we're all good. So I'm like, I like having like all of us be up. So like, I guess on a smaller scale, like when we wanted to go to some show or whatever, and I bought everybody's tickets, I'm like, fuck it. Because if it wasn't that, then only like 2 of us would have gone, and it wouldn't have been as cool.
Yeah.
I think to me, in that position, I was like, yo, I'd rather pay for it, have all of us go, and then as a result, have a better time, because like we're all squatted up, than me being like, nah, it's my money, fuck y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get your bread up and pay your own shit. Like, that sounds douchier, I feel like. And yeah, it probably wouldn't have been as cool.
Yeah, it definitely makes it more fun when there's more people anywhere, really.
Yeah, and especially with people that you actually like being around.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, if you have the means to do that, then you'll do that. You'll do that to help your friends. You'll do that to, like, you know, obviously not to like the extent where it like takes you past that threshold where you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I think when people say that it doesn't buy happiness, I think they're going more into like the personal, I guess the spiritual thing. Like, I don't think they're talking about happiness. I think they're talking about fulfillment, which is two different things. Because happiness, it's more, I think it could be more like in the moment, whereas fulfillment is something more that's kind of long term. Like you can be, how can I say this? Like I can be happy because, you know, we went to some place, to my favorite restaurant or whatever. But I think fulfillment is more like long term, like, oh, I accomplished like something big, like a weight loss. Like you're not really happy because you lost 1 pound, but you're happy when you lost like 50. You're happy that you lost a pound, but you're fulfilled when you lost 50. That make sense?
No. I think that was a terrible example to use.
Yes, my best example. That's my best example. Oh, I guess another.
You can throw money at that too.
Oh, I see what you mean. But you wouldn't get the same fulfillment from actually doing the work and losing the weight as you would from just, you know, throwing some money and then you lose it. You feel like you accomplish more when you actually put in the work to lose it.
I feel like that's also like a cop out.
So you're saying as long as it gets done, fuck it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally, I'm with you. Like, yeah, it means more if you work for it, but also like if you don't end up accomplishing it and somebody else does because they threw money at it, I feel like it's a cop out, like saying like, nah, I'm actually working for my shit. I didn't just throw money at it.
I see. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. But then at that point, you're kind of like judging what you do by looking at someone else, and then it gets a little bit more like complicated. But just like the goal itself, and you personally losing 1 pound to losing 50 would be different experiences for yourself. If you compare it to like someone else, then it gets like, how did they do it? What did they do? Did they throw money? Did they work for it? Oh, we can work for it together. Or maybe I should get more money so then I could do that. The way Valkyrie explained it, she kind of explained it how you kind of said it. She said money doesn't buy happiness. Or no, she said what money buys is comfort. Comfort in terms of I don't have to worry about, you know, bills and other things. And I can go on trips every month if I wanted to. So does it buy happiness? Not necessarily, but you do get comfort. And comfort removes a lot of the stresses that you would have if you didn't have money. And that was her response to her viewer.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's probably like not the direct payment of happiness. You're paying for something else that will provide happiness for you.
Yeah, and then she's on the like high millionaire earners.
Yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah, no.
She's hot.
I'll tell you who isn't hot. Or actually, we don't know because we never saw their faces. The rich people in the Squid Games. First of all, it was the old guy who was like a mastermind behind it. Or one of the participants. But in the ending, they said that they had so much money that they got bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
You think that would happen? Not that, you know, the Squid Game part, but that you have so much money that you get bored of just doing things.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he had upwards of 100 million, maybe even 1 billion. Let's just assume they're all billionaires because they said they had so much money. If you had 1 billion, what would you do?
Nothing.
Travel? No?
Well, yeah, but by then, nah, okay. I wouldn't not do nothing because that's also how you lose your money. I don't know. I could go one or two ways. Spend it and set it up and use it to set up things that would set me up so I don't have to work again.
Mm-hmm.
So do that or do the Dan Bilzerian thing.
Hire a bunch of girls to just follow you around and take a bunch of Instagram pictures?
No. Do you know how he got famous?
This is what I know about him. Not that much. He was in some military branch. He got injured. He left. He started playing poker. He made hundreds of thousands, if not millions. And then something about social media, and he started posting a lot. And that's all I really know about him.
So he was already rich. He comes from money. Like his family had money.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he already had money. He made more money, obviously, gambling, playing poker, and all that stuff. And then one day he decided, he's like, let me try and get famous. And then just decided to hire a photographer and have, and just start posting himself doing cool shit on Instagram. And then his following, like, shot up. And that's how he got famous. But he was already rich before the fame.
Okay. Wait, so was he in some military branch or no?
Yeah, but that's like...
Yeah. I remember 2016, I believe, when he was on Joe Rogan. And I only remember that day because I think that's when I started listening to Joe Rogan. And I think his was probably the first or the second one podcast that I heard. I think the first one might have been with Neil deGrasse Tyson when he was on Joe Rogan. But I remember, like, the reason I know somewhat about it is because I think I heard all of it, or I might have just heard pieces of it when he was on it. And he was talking about, everything he just explained right now. Did he say he was rich already? That he came from money? No, right?
Well, the world didn't find out about him because he was going through the poker circuit. Like, he didn't get rich because, or he didn't get famous because he was a poker player. He got famous because of Instagram. And he just like was throwing these crazy lavish parties, the girls going to places, just shooting all these big ass guns, things that more dudes are like attracted to. Like, oh shit, this dude does dope shit. And so obviously everyone wanted to see what he was up to, so they can like look up to like that lavish playboy lifestyle he was living. And then his follower count went up like crazy.
I remember seeing those pictures, and he would even be recommended to me just randomly. Just him, boats, girls, and gun ranges, I think, are what I mostly saw.
Private jets.
Yeah, the jets.
Stacks of cash.
Wait, was he the first person to get popular showing all that stuff?
No, probably not.
Because I know, obviously, like, the rappers and anyone who gets a shitload of money fast, not that they all show, but a lot of them, they show the girls, the money, the jets, the boats, and the parties. If Instagram started 2012, 2010, and by 2016, he was well known, and I'm assuming he started posting 2014, was anyone else as popular as him posting all that stuff? Or was he one of the first? Maybe not the first, but
I don't know.
Huh.
But I wasn't even into Instagram like that when it was happening, so I wouldn't know. So like how like I guess in comparison like to TikTok, like who's the top ballers of TikTok, like who came up with TikTok. I think social media was still like new.
That's kind of funny just to one day go, you know what? Time to get famous. All you have to do is just get famous. Just do it.
But I don't know. It's hard. You can't do it yourself. I mean, yeah, you can actually, because the TikTok dudes did it themselves. But like his route, where he doesn't take his own pictures, he has somebody following him around. That's what I need. If I get that billionaire, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just throwing money at you. I'm like, Pedro, you're coming with me everywhere I go. You're taking pictures. If you ask me to pose for a picture, you're fired. I don't want to pose for shit. If you get the shot, you get the shot. If you don't, then fuck it. We're moving on.
It'd be cool if someone got whoever followed him and just interviewed them about like how it actually was. Because from what I've heard, like years later when it was leaked that Dan was, like, a lot of the girls were actually following him and he was paying a lot of them. And then I wonder how what was the behind the scenes like?
You're saying he's paying them for services? They were getting paid through his company. They're like brand girls for the company. It wasn't like he was paying them to, because that's one thing he's always saying. Like, he doesn't pay for that.
Yeah, no, I meant to be around, like, as for shoots.
Because they're wearing his brand.
The one he was investing in, the one that came crashing down.
It's actually doing very well. It's not.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's not.
From what
they try to do to him what they do to Joe Rogan and
yeah, because that's what I read. Wait, so then He's
Hey,
fucking
bro.
thriving.
Yeah. I'm a fucking Dan Bilzerian fanboy.
Oh, I didn't know.
Nah. I only know this because he came out on a couple podcasts over the last couple weeks because he's been promoting his book.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched some of them. And then that's where I got the pay follow me around. If you ask me to take well, I made up the I'll fire you part just because that's how I have to treat you as a friend right now. But
okay.
he literally says, like, don't ask me to fucking pose. Like, if you get the shot, get the shot. If not, move on. That's why like all of his like the posts that he be posting, like the videos of him walking with the girls, like that's all like that isn't planned. He's like, yo, we're going here, and then I guess the photographer's job is to just be ahead of them or be behind them or just know what the itinerary is so he can get those shots.
Right. It's not staged in terms of like stand here, do this pose.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, all right, go.
Yeah. It's more like just go. I'm gonna go this way, get what you get, and then we'll just work with whatever you get.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the way that they made him seem online was that he was a fraud and then his business was failing. So then it's the opposite. He's actually thriving, doing pretty good.
Well, I mean, yeah, not broke, still pretty famous.
Yeah. Wait, what's the book about?
Him.
Just like a memoir, kind of like a biography of him.
Is it memoir when you're about to die?
Yeah, that's why I switched to the biography.
Yeah,
It's a bio of him.
Okay. His come up and stuff.
And then I'm assuming that the people that had him in the podcast, they talked about like his business and other things, social media, his lifestyle. Surprised he hasn't gone back on Rogan then.
Might be.
I know he does that too. Like the day a book releases, people usually get on that day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it might be. You never know. He's doing his rounds. Because I'm on the Nelk Boy podcast, Impulsive.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's a big platform to like get your shit out.
Yeah, and he's been there before, so I don't know if he knows him personally, but they have at the least they know each other.
Yeah.
Going back to Squid Games, how'd you like the show?
Like when all the hype was coming out, I was kind of like, I'm not interested or whatever, right? And then everyone started raving about it, saying it was the best, and then I was about to turn into like Brendan Schaub, being like, I don't want to hear about it, being a hater. Then I realized I was being a hater and be like, what do I want to do? Watch this shit 5 years from now, like I did with Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. Like I didn't watch them right away because I was like, well, mainly it was also I didn't have a lot like time or access to watch the shows. But this one, it's on Netflix. I have access to Netflix, and so I watched it. It was cool.
Yeah.
And I watched the English dub, you motherfuckers. So all you haters, fuck you. It's just as good. Besides one voice that was kind of stupid, but other than that, I still thought it was a great show.
Wait, whose voice? You didn't like the English dub version?
212s. 211. 201.
The girl?
Yeah, the girl that slept with Diosek.
What? Yeah, the gangster.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the only voice that I felt like didn't match up with what people like care about, was that it doesn't match up with the mouth movement, and it just didn't fit the character, in my opinion. I thought all the other voices were chill, were cool. I did listen to it in Korean because I wanted to see how how Ali sounded, like what his real voice was, and if he was actually speaking Korean. It's like,
was it?
It does sound better, yeah. It does sound better, but yeah, I just didn't want to read it. I wanted to be entertained, so I wanted to hear what was going on and as I was watching it.
Yeah,
because if I read it, I'm not watching the show. I'm reading.
Wait, so but when you watch animes, dubbed?
English dub.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, because when you read them sub, you do focus on reading a lot, but after a while, you just get used to it. Where you just read it real fast and look up, and you do it unconsciously after a while.
Yeah, but technically, anime's like stills.
But once it's animated, it's kind of just like you're watching
When the show's actually like showing movement, is usually when they're fighting. They're not really talking. If they're talking, it's the still face, and then just the mouth is moving.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Their eyes aren't moving. The eyes only move when it shows they're switching, talking to a different person.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So all the movement parts in the animes are reserved for action.
Yeah.
Instead of talking. Can I share with you a secret technique to? After you do this, you can watch any dubbed show or any show that has a different language and just read it as fast as you watch it. All right, check this out. All you have to do is read faster. Problem solved.
All you have to do is get over the fact that we speak English, and if I want to watch it in English, whoop-de-fucking do. I want to watch it in English. Watch it how you want to watch it. Get off my fucking sack.
Yeah, I saw it dubbed too. By the way.
No, I know. It's just lately, a lot of podcasts have been coming up, and they're like, "Oh my god, you watch it in English dub? Oh, it's so despicable." Like, shut the fuck up.
All right. Here's the deal. I know I do give you shit about it, but I'm 100% just joking. But I do know that there's some people that take it to the extreme. Like, if you don't watch it here, you're not watching it the traditional way. How can you get the full range of emotion if you're not watching it dubbed or watching it subbed?
If you don't understand what the fuck they're saying, you can't get the full range of their emotion either.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just like how they say it. And I kind of see what they're saying, but it's also like, if the story's good, it kind of doesn't matter. As long as you can understand it, it'll be good regardless. Everything else is just everyone kind of being extreme about it.
Yeah.
But it is funny to like just talk shit when you do. Don't watch it in sub. But it's never serious.
No, I know. Especially those anime motherfuckers. God damn.
No, they're hardcore. Yeah.
I'm like, bruh, if I wanted to fucking read subtitles, I would just read the fucking manga. Shut the fuck up. But isn't it weird? They bitch and complain if you watch Naruto English dub, but yet they don't bat an eye when they watch Dragon Ball Z in English dub.
Dragon Ball Z is one of it's an anomaly. It's the one anime that I think most people, whether you're on the extreme of subtitles or not in the extreme, by far Goku's voice sounds way better English than Japanese. It's too high pitched. He's too buff. His muscles are popping out too much. The shirt's too tight. He looks like he would be on Grindr if he was like with his Japanese voice. So it just doesn't work in Japanese. But in English, it sounds more, I'm just gonna say it, he sounds more masculine in English and he sounds too feminine in Japanese.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the main reason when you watch in Japanese, it's like, why is this guy like like his high pitched ass voice? I don't want to hear that when the boss music's playing and then I see like Kakarot like I want to hear like Vegeta, like that, like deeper, a little bit raspier voice. It just sounds better. That's my hot, non-hot take.
I feel you.
And I think what really does it is the scream, like their power up is just too high pitched in Japanese. It just sounds a little off.
Yeah, because I've seen episodes both ways. I think Itachi sounds the same.
Mm-hmm.
Pain sounds the same. So it sounds cool either way, but it's just for your viewing pleasure, how you want to see it. So
yeah. So then you saw Naruto, all of it just dubbed.
Mm-hmm.
Were all the episodes out when you were watching it dubbed? Like the final war and everything was already out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All 720 episodes, I watched them in English dub.
Okay. Because I remember watching this subbed. So I watched the regular one dubbed because that's what I grew up with, so I just saw it. And then going to Shippuden, I watched it dub as well to a certain point.
Oh, they didn't have them.
They weren't dubbed over yet, so I had to watch them subbed, and that was one of the main reasons I just switched over to sub. Then you kind of get used to it, the reading, and then like when the extreme fans say like the emotion isn't there, I could kind of see it, but it's also if I would have seen it dubbed, like kind of wouldn't have mattered. So now I just watch a sub just because kind of what I'm used to. So just watch a sub.
But I did watch it, 3 years after you?
Yeah. By then they were all out. Though,
Yeah,
so,
but then they were all
yeah.
out, so I saw everything, and I think Boruto was already out too. So
Wait, but then going back to like Squid Games and the story, how'd you like? So you saw it?
oh
it
yeah,
dubbed?
I did see it. I saw it dubbed. I thought it was dope. Where I fucked up is that I saw a later episode on accident.
Mhm.
I walked in into my brother's room, and he was watching it, and I saw something, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And he was like, "Bro, you don't fucking understand," and and I was like, "Oh, yeah." And then when the part I saw was of the old man,
Mhm.
and then so when I started seeing it, I was like, "Wait, why is this old man in the uniform?" As things happen, and then he dies. I'm like, but I saw him in a later episode, and the part I saw didn't. Well, I deduced that it was from a later episode because from what I had seen up to that point, it wasn't that scene that I walked in watching. So I'm like, oh, dang, he's not dead.
Yeah.
So I kind of killed it for myself, like that. I didn't get that full experience of being surprised. But other than that, I think I felt like the same heartbreak everyone else felt, like when the way Ali died, and all that stuff. So it was good.
So remember the part with the old man, since you brought him up. After the first game, when it was nighttime and they're off like killing each other off, it kind of makes sense once you watch it all that he was probably a VIP, or he was a VIP, and I think the guards went in to protect him. I'm assuming that's what happened, even though they never showed it and they never explained it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's why he disappeared. Or maybe there's like a secret passage or something.
That's
secret.
what I was saying. There was a secret passage, because how the fuck did he get up all the way on top from where he was screaming?
Yeah, there was definitely something, because he was a VIP, he probably had access to either security or those passages to get him up there for safety. And he probably knew ahead of time that was going to happen too. Because then you also know that wasn't you find out later also that wasn't the first one. That this is, who knows if it's like the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, sixth. But it's been going on. So the creators or whoever created the game, they knew that was going to happen. And they had the system or protection already in place for the old guy.
Mm-hmm. It was crazy how he knew the answers to like every game. So like I did watch it 2 times. So watching the second time, you pick up on the small things that you didn't pick up before, and I was like, oh, it was making sense. Like I thought it was written very well.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm like an authority on what's written well and what's not. When it's all put together, I think it's solid. It's solid.
So then watching it the second time, what was the biggest thing that surprised you watching it the second time?
Just minor little details.
Mm-hmm.
I think the old man's the only one with that baldish haircut. I think that's for a reason, because you can you can make out his like prickly hair from behind when he's sitting on the couch, and he's like, "Sir, the VIPs are here."
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets up, and you go before you see it's him. You can only see the back of his head with that prickly little cut, kind of like how I have it right now, actually, on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Just not gray. You can tell it's him.
Oh, I see. So you see him in the VIP section up there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, because I wasn't looking for it, obviously. He doesn't talk, I'm assuming. He's just there in the VIP section watching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess he couldn't talk, because if he talked, everyone would know who he was. The other VIPs. Now that I think about it, he knew all the games already.
Mm-hmm.
So he just purposely kind of played dumb to see like how the other players would treat him and put him in different situations.
Yeah. There was only one part that I still didn't get, which is the whole brother situation with the cop and then the front man.
Yeah.
I didn't get that, because when the cop was looking for him, the landlord, when he went to the dude's apartment, the landlord was like, yeah, he hasn't been here. He hasn't answered the past couple of days. But then when he gets into like the record room on the island and sees that he had won the actual games, but it was like years before that.
Yeah.
I think that didn't match up. That's the only part I didn't get, even when I rewatched it.
Yeah, I think what that is, well, first of all, when they got shot, you think he died? When the brother shot the other brother?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're setting
they're setting up for season 2.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I did notice too, when he was trying to send there's a shot when he's looking at his phone and it shows that it didn't send, and he clicks resend, but but it's only for like 2 images. The other ones had a check mark that they did get sent out. So I saw that.
You noticed that the first time or the second time?
I noticed that the first time. I noticed that he clicked resend,
Recent, yeah.
but it was also fast. And the second time, I actually paused it.
I wasn't sure if they were gonna have a second season just because he got shot. I thought in the next episode he was gonna, like typical, he's floating, fisherman picks him up, or maybe he drifts on somewhere. Maybe he just goes back to the line and hides or something. That's what I thought for the next episode after he got shot. But when they didn't show that, I was like, oh shit, I think he actually might be dead. And it wasn't until the final shot where the guy dyed his hair. The main character dyed his hair. He saw I don't even know what was his name, the guy who initially offered to give him cash to slap him. When he saw that, and then when he hesitated and went back, I was like, oh, this is season 2. And then that's when I thought, oh, the brother might not be dead actually. He might just come out for season 2. I was kind of hesitant on how they were going to make a Squid Game 2 because the game's already passed. So we already know the games. But if season 2 is more about, the main character and trying to take down the games, then it's like, oh, okay. I see how they're trying to set it up.
I would have liked them to reveal that he was the brother in a different way, though.
How so? What do you mean? Like more of a shock or?
No, because it was a shock. But you know how when earlier in the episode, he's like, if they see your face, you die?
Mm-hmm.
He took off his mask. He like broke his own rule.
I don't think anyone else saw his face other than the brother, but I guess you can make the assumption like that's this guy's brother. Who is this guy? Now we know who this other person is.
But they don't know because none of them have seen each other's face either. Even like the soldiers or the supervisors. They don't see their faces either, so. And I guess he had their back towards him.
Mm-hmm.
Their back towards them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because he is the front man,
because he's the front man, he gets like special privileges that the others don't. Maybe he can break the rules.
They can't act on him.
Yeah,
because it was the front man that popped that other dude that took off his mask.
I think at that point he's just in a position of power and he outranks everyone there, like the soldiers, so he can kind of do what he wants. Would you say the Squid Games had more hype than Bird Box?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. There was definitely, because Bird Box is the only show.
It was a show or was it a movie?
Oh, it was a movie. That's right. That's right. In recent time, the only other Netflix show that's really like had such a huge like burst of popularity that I could think of recently is probably Bird Box. That's kind of comparable to Squid Games. They're different because one's a movie, one's a series, and obviously one's in English, one's Korean. But that's the one that comes to mind in recent times that had all these memes and everyone's kind of talking about it. It kind of like it passes Netflix and goes into other media. Maybe Breaking Bad had the final season big or just as big, but that's a while ago.
It didn't start on Netflix, and that was a show where they release an episode every week. Yeah, I don't know how long until something else like that comes up.
I have no idea, because if we just go based on those two, Bird Box came out 2018, 2019, 18 or 19. This one came out 2021. So every 2 years, something completely just blows up.
Stranger Things.
First season or like the most recent ones?
First season.
Yeah.
Because remember, if we're gonna compare them, then we have to compare first season only because there's no
true
second season of Squid Games right now.
When did Stranger Things is a bit older than Bird Box, right? Maybe a year or two older than that. That's true. So maybe every 1 or 2 years, Netflix has a complete like show or movie that just pops and goes beyond Netflix to like YouTube, to news, to memes, to costumes, to merch, to everything else. Just everyone talks about it for like a short period of time. It's cool. Maybe lasts for a Halloween or two. And then just kind of starts to trickle down. Still super popular because I think Stranger Things is still going, still popular, but definitely not as popular as the first season. And Bird Box was a movie, so one and done. I am expecting a lot of Halloween costumes of the...
Oh, that's all we're going to see at Escape.
Yeah, for sure.
The fucking PlayStation symbols.
I'm expecting someone to be like with a front man and then the rest of the squad in the soldier uniform.
That would be sick, but that's also what kind of kills it. That it's gonna be like it's not gonna be like clever or unique, because I feel like everyone's gonna go for that.
And the uniforms or the costumes per se, they're pretty basic. Like the player uniforms are just some sweatpants. The soldier is just a red jumpsuit. The front man is literally just a black overcoat, some black jeans, and then the mask. They're pretty simple costumes. So I think that's gonna even make them more popular because they're so simple. Compared to like, imagine having like did you ever watch Hunger Games? You remember the costumes that they wore when they went up to what they would say, like their interview, when they were interviewing for sponsors? They had like elaborate dresses and like suits and all these like complicated.
Oh, yeah, but not anything that would that you can distinguish. Like if you saw him, like Hunger Games. At least this, you see it, Squid Games.
Yeah, because that retro is gonna pop, and the sweatpants. They're on Amazon too. I looked them up.
Yep.
They were. I don't know when they went up, but they went up quick. Apparently, the most popular one that I saw 3 days ago was the old man's uniform. 001. Wait, did you get it?
Nah. Nah. I had something else in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell you, but since you haven't fucking watched it, you'd be wasting my breath.
Watch what?
Loki.
Go ahead, question me again. We gonna do this again?
Shut your ass up.
We gonna do this again?
You're dead to me.
So you're thinking about getting something from there? I can't even like. Can you explain it without giving out without giving out spoilers? Could you explain it or no?
But just saying words with no context, yeah, I'd be a version.
A version of something means that there's more than one. So then there's a character who has different costumes, or maybe he changes forms. And you said it deals with time, so maybe it's like a past version and a future version. Since you said it deals with time, because time I fuck with, and time genres I definitely fuck with. It has to be based on time, and you're gonna be someone that's based either in the future, past, or present.
Yeah, or I might just have something like alligator skinned on.
What? Alligator, like boots?
Maybe.
But I won't know until I watch the fucking series.
Mm-hmm. And when you figure out what I said, if you're watching it and then you think back to this conversation that we're having right now, I guarantee you that you're gonna fucking let out an actual guffaw. You're actually gonna laugh out loud, and then be like, "That motherfucker." No context. Now it makes sense.
How far would I have to watch to understand that?
Like episode 3, maybe.
That's halfway? Because it's 6?
It's 6, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's episode 3 might be the beginning of episode 4.
Would that be a group costume for everyone else, or that's just your personal costume?
Yes. It'll fit into a group costume.
Meaning there has to be multiple people. So there has to be a timeline where all of them are going to wear something. Time genre. That means it's not like... It has to be a specific, like, Western... I don't know. I think I'm overthinking it. I already feel myself overthinking it.
I thought about this earlier when I started reading it again, too, though. That was like a defining moment in our friendship.
The Unwind books?
Mm-hmm.
Also, just because I was shocked that like you knew about it. I was super shocked that you knew. I was like, you know about this obscure fucking book that's like not really pop. Because there's no way you would know about it unless you like read the books before.
We were driving to Wyoming.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you try to tell me like, hey, do you remember? Or you told me about some news story that just broke about body parts and shit, because we were driving through this like rural ass area. And you kept describing it, and I'm like, hold up. Sounds like a book I read once. And then I called you out on it, and you started laughing.
Yeah.
I got the name wrong. I called it AWOL or something. But like that's what they called it, the people that ran away. We started talking about it. You were, hella surprised that I knew what you were talking about. But I had only read one book. And then you put me on that there was more books. Because I guess when I read it, it was like new.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time that I read it, there was only one book. So I never looked at it again.
And I think I remember you saying that it was either Alejandro's book for a class or for something.
Yeah.
And you thought it was whack. And then you said, well, then I picked it up and it was fucking interesting.
Shit was fire. That first chapter was fire.
You said she was interesting. I just kept reading it.
And I think I finished it before she did.
Yes, I remember you saying that.
Helped her with their damn report or whatever. But yeah, so ever since you told me that there was more books, then we started looking into them, and you had 4 of them. I think I ended up just buying the box set with all 5. Because there's that 2.5 one.
Yeah.
So I have all 5, and then I read through them. Fucking fire.
Hell yeah. 2.5 is whatever. You can skip it if you want.
I'd never read it.
Okay.
Yeah, so but 1 through 4 is fire.
Hell yeah.
Which I think that was one of the pretty defining moments in our friendship. Just random thought. I thought it'd be good to share here, just because it did come up on my head for some reason. I read it. I started reading the book again, and it's still just as fire.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't take anything away, knowing that I already know what's gonna happen.
I remember the first. I don't remember how it started, but it was a kid. I don't even remember his name. I want to say it's probably completely wrong. Something with a C.
Fuck! Why am I just literally read this shit. Yeah, whatever. I'm blanking.
Yeah, he explains, like, he finds out that he's gonna be sent, and then he starts, in spite of his parents, he starts acting super nice on purpose to be like, fuck you, I'm gonna be nice these next 1 or 2 months, just so you guys know what it would have been like if you didn't send me.
Yeah.
Fucking savage. Some petty ass shit I would do too.
And then the day the cops come, and he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna pop this, and he just pops them.
Yeah.
And then the whole sequence of him running through the highway, the bus. So crazy. He fucking takes the girl. Or was it the girl? No, takes not Lenny. Is it Lenny? We don't know his name yet in the first chapter. The tithe.
Yeah.
Takes the tithe, but then the girl runs after him.
It's funny because I could visualize the scenes. I don't remember their names, but I remember
blanking it.
I remember the scenes, and then they go to some forest.
The girl. How did you picture her? She's a black girl in my head.
What?
Yeah.
I can give you. This is how I pictured it before, and when this movie came out, or maybe it's because the movie came out, you saw Alinity.
Wait, there's a movie on it?
No.
Oh.
As a reference, Alita, Alita the movie with the robot.
Oh yeah.
That's how I picture her, not as a robot, obviously, as a human, like black hair, kind of pale skin.
So Connor, Risa, and Levi.
Connor, yeah.
It is Connor. Shit.
I knew it started with I want to say Charlie, but it wasn't Charlie.
Yeah, Connor, Lisa, and Levi. To me, Risa was a black girl in my head.
What? No, didn't they described her as light skinned, didn't they?
I don't remember. I hope they don't, because it's gonna ruin it in my head. But she was a little black girl in my head.
However you see her, that's how you see her. I see her like Alita, human obviously, but black hair, big eyes, not that big, but
Oh,
that's how I see her.
Yeah, I picture the opposite. Black. I mean, like caramel skin, black, and curly hair. Kind of like number from the Kids Next Door, or the Candy, the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
The number 4. Is she number 4? But just lighter skin.
I remember number 1, obviously, and then the chubby guy. I remember him. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like young like that, but with short, young like that, but just Rihanna skin and curly hair.
A little bit lighter skin. Okay. Yeah.
Levi's a little pussy until he turns into a badass. Anyways, you saw Dave Chappelle. Another roller coaster in itself.
All right, yeah. Go ahead. First thoughts. Even before you saw it, what were you expecting before you even saw it? You think it was gonna be fire? You thought all
right, so this is what happened. I didn't know it had even come out.
Same, actually, right? Same boat. Yeah,
I didn't know until it started coming up on podcasts as a topic, and then they were going over it and giving away jokes, and I immediately stopped them. I didn't watch that podcast, and then so I went to the next one on my rotation for the week. Same thing. I'm like, fuck. So then I'm like, can't watch it now. So I couldn't listen to anything, and I was like, this is stupid. So then I just put it on and I watched it then. Right then and there.
Yeah,
And
just to see it.
I honestly thought it was going to be kind of like the other ones, more of TED Talk type of stuff. And then with like some punchlines here and there. But this one was probably the best one he's made from his Netflix deal. Because I actually finished it. I haven't finished most of them.
What? Wait. So you've started the other ones, Sticks and Stones, and all the other ones, the most recent ones, but you never finished them. They just kind of lost your interest.
No, so the very, very first one he released, I finished it. I thought, oh shit, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like his very first one.
That thing was fire.
That one was fire.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting. So when I saw this first one on Netflix, I wasn't as like entertained because I'm like, this doesn't compare. Equilibrium or whatever. I forgot what that one's called.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I didn't finish it. Sticks and Stones, I didn't finish it.
Mm-hmm.
The one he just dropped on YouTube, I saw it, but it wasn't funny. It was more him just ranting. So that's what I thought it was going to be, like more rants. And this one I actually laughed a lot. The final joke was fire. I laughed and I finished it.
Yeah.
This one was the best one. I mean, second best compared to the first one. Still not, doesn't compare. But for his Netflix one, this one has to be the best.
The Netflix best right now. Because I do know what you mean by, like, I've heard that before, like TED Talk and how he talks a lot, which I think it's just because of the times and because everyone was talking about trans people and words and watching too much social media and all this stuff. I think it's just so many people had brought it up before that it almost seemed like, yeah, like a TED Talk, almost like a presentation kind of. Mm-hmm. But they were still really good. And if we're comparing it to the first one, I think the first one was just like jokes, just straight up just jokes and punchlines. Mm-hmm. Jokes, punchlines, and they were like funny, snappy to the point. I think you said like, I think last week you said Mitch Hedberg?
Hedberg, yeah.
Hedberg. Would the jokes that he did in the first one be compared to his, like fast, snappy, to the point jokes? In terms of like the deliverance, snappy to the point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess comedy as a whole, like specials did change
mm-hmm.
over time, where people were like trying to, it kind of started being a trend where you would deliver a message throughout the whole special.
Yeah.
And then I think Dave's taking it to another level now where he's storytelling to get his message across, but it's like jokes.
So for this one, I was just trying to think, because it was so different from all the other ones that he's done. It was the first one that I think I lost track of time, where mm-hmm. I think it's an hour. It's about an hour, 12. Right? Oh shit, it's even longer than I thought. I remember watching it, and then he's saying, "All right, I'm about to leave," and I was like, "Oh, what? It's only been half an hour." And I checked my phone. I was like, "Holy shit, it's been an hour and 12." I just lost track of time. And what it reminded me of was just like a book. If I read a book and the story's really good, kind of like the Unwind one, I can read it and I'll just be flipping through pages just because mm-hmm. it's good. And the next thing I know, oh shit, it's been 30 minutes, it's been 40 minutes, it's been an hour 30. I read like this many pages. You kind of just go through it. That's what I felt his special was like a novel, but not a traditional one. Traditional ones are, the intro, the climax, the ending, and then you have your midpoints and all like the little details. I feel like his most recent special is a novel with the pieces shifted around. Like the ending could have been the beginning. The beginning could have been the ending. There's parts in the middle that could have been shifted around. Because ultimately his whole special was a story that kind of led somewhere, and you can shift the pieces around and it would still lead to the same conclusion. Yeah, storytelling is definitely on the next level for comedy.
Oh yeah. Especially with that mic drop ending.
That Daphne joke, whew, that shit hit hard.
Fire.
Yeah.
This was like a topic of debate. Do you feel like he should have ended it as soon as he dropped that mic drop thing? Or should he have kept going? So you know how he does the final joke? He says the final line that hits?
Mm-hmm.
Cheering, and then he like goes and gives like one more sentence of like a quick summary. Like, all right guys, but just, empathy, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people were saying that he should have just ended it, boom, right there at that mic drop and just walked off. And some people were like, it's fine. It makes sense that he did it like that.
So the way that he ended it, didn't he say like empathy is bisexual? It goes both ways, and then he dropped it and left. Isn't that how he ended it?
Yeah. People are saying that he shouldn't have done that. He should have just ended it when he goes and talks to her daughter.
I think it's fine that he ended it that way. If anything, I think he did that on purpose to kind of...
Yeah, I didn't mind it, but it did come up a lot in, like, when I went to go finish those podcasts, they did talk about that. Saying that they wish that he would have ended it as soon as he talks to the daughter.
Yeah, I think he could have ended it there, but I think he did that on purpose because even he said like it got him angry that the trans community was saying that him as a comedian he's punching down. And I think he did that on purpose to kind of empathize, I guess, and be like, no, I'm not punching down. It was almost like a jab at him, but not a punch down, like a jab like, fuck you guys. Like, I'm not punching down. I'm punching straight at you. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like with no bad intention. Just kind of saying like, I'm not doing this. Because even, I think, what was it? He said empathy. Empathy is in, it's not gay. It's not straight. It's bi. It goes both ways. And then he goes on to, until we can laugh together, this is going to be my last one. And then his final sentence was, so as a comedian, I'm telling you, please stop punching down on my people. I think that's him being, I don't want to say petty, but like a little spicy, a little like, I understand you. I'm not punching down. You're punching down at me. Fuck you. And just kind of nailing the nail on the head. Yeah, it was fine where he ended it. If anything, I prefer the ending that he ended with.
I don't mind either one. I thought what he said made sense. It was clever. But then that fire mic drop at the end was also fire. He could have ended it there.
And with that, do you have anything else?
No?
Then I think we'll end it there. If you haven't checked out our socials, you check out our socials. There you could find us on YouTube, all the podcast platforms. Or if you just want to follow us on Podbean, that's fine too. But we'll see you next week. I'm Pedro. This is Steven. 2 mics, theories. Bye.
Peace.